small. We have only 10, 11 points, and managing that data is relatively easy. But what if you want to create, kind of have many items, or we were looking for a patterns that is very common when we are working on with the geometry. We're trying to create different patterns for our geometry. How can we basically select items based on the patterns, or basically removing some item based on the patterns that we have in mind? So in that case, we are using two different components. One component is called Boolean value, which is basically a value of true or false, and it's something that is very common in programming. And the other one is called pattern. For the Boolean, we can go to parameters, and then here we can find the Boolean toggle in the inputs. So I'm going to bring one and then copy and paste it. We need like a multiple of them. So I'm going to copy and paste this, and I'm going to copy paste this here as well. So this basically the default value right now is false. By clicking here, you can get the value of true, and then if you want a false, you can just click again. So it's basically a toggle that by clicking you can get a different value. So right now I am going to use the value of true and false here for the patterns that I'm looking for. Basically, what I'm trying to do is that I'm trying to uh, um, from the first list, I'm going to remove the first point, keep the second point, move the third point, and all the way down to the end of the list. And then the same thing in reverse, basically keeping the first point, removing the second, all the way to the end of this list. Now, we know when we have multiple data stream, if we want to bring it to our component, we have to merge them. So what I will do is that I'm going to bring a merge to merge these data stream, and I'm going to connect it to the first one, the second here, and then do the same thing on this second merge as well. I'm going to move this a little bit further. And this time, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use go to the set tab in the sequence, and here I can find the call pattern, which basically looking for the patterns of patterns and removing and keeping the points. So this is our pattern. So I'm going to add this to the pattern input, and I have list. So this is going to be my list as well. I'm going to copy and paste this again here. The list is going to be the list point from the this divide function, and then the pattern will be the same here. Now, if I connect this to this part and then connecting that part, that give us some form of a visualization of how this basically look like. Oh, let me just remove this there. Made a mistake. I have to connect this part to here. Okay, here we go. The part, true and false. And here how that's look like. So from the first, I keep false, so it's gonna remove the first one, and then goes keeping the second one. From the second list, it's keep the first one and removing the second one. So, and this create this pattern. Basically, if you look at the points that I have, by this pattern, I create 6 defined value here, and I create 5 points on the other list. So if I just reverse this, basically, and keep it this way, then I have a balanced data sets, and you can see that it's just connecting it every other points. And you can have as many as complex pattern that you were wishing to create in your geometry. This is just like for a point, but it could be doable in any form of a list you're looking for. So if I want to add another one, I can just go here and adding this true value here, and then do the same thing here. And you see that the patterns is change over the selection of the pattern changes over the this like a repetition of booleans that I create here.